Excuse me everyone, I'll just speak for a few minutes, just a few minutes of your attention, thank you. My name is Chris Ellinger, I'm Australia's Deputy Consul General here in Mumbai, and I'm absolutely delighted to welcome you all here tonight to the opening of Lene's exhibition Constructions. This exhibition forms part of Australia Fest, which is a 6-month-long program the Australian government is running across India. There's some show bags, please feel free to take some. It's a big program with 75 different cultural and creative events across 20 cities, and it's in its small way it builds on the broader Australia-India relationship, which really is at the moment as strong as it has ever been. And that is because of words like economic complementarity and strategic congruence, but really it's a story about people. We have in Australia at the moment 1 in 35 people from our population of Indian origin. India is our largest source of skilled migrants, and in this direction we have thousands of Australian business people and students and tourists coming each year. So Australia Fest is looking to celebrate that people-to-people dynamic and the sharing of cultures. So it's wonderful to have Lene's exhibition as part of that, which is really an exploration and celebration of not just 1 or 2, but I think 3 or several cultures. So thank you very much, Lene, for bringing this exhibition here. Thank you to the gallery for putting it on. Thank you to you all for coming. I was delighted to have a few moments before to look around the paintings, and it struck me just how clever and apt that title of Constructions is, because we have such beautiful pieces, and in one regard it seemed to me that some of them contain this element of building blocks, and you could see in them an element of cityscape or building site, but at the same time there's such a warmth to them. The meticulous human hand is so evident in them all that I'm not getting a sense of assembly, but rather a sense of evolution. So I really look forward to actually somebody who knows more about the paintings telling us, and so I invite all of those who are invited here tonight to now warmly welcome Lene and look forward to her showing us around the exhibition. So thanks very much.
I would also like to thank the Australian government and the Australian consulate in Mumbai for being so supportive in getting all this together. Thank you for coming here today. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to participate in the Australia Fest, which is a massive program in so many cities, and it's an honor for me to be a part of the soft diplomacy activities that are going around between the two countries at the moment, trying to bring the two nations closer together in every regard. Thank you to the Norwegian Consul General for taking time to thank you. Next time. Yes. Next time. And thank you to family, new family in India, and to my husband for all the support. It meant a lot here. As Chris was able to perceive, and I'm very happy that he got very much of what I'm trying to say with my work, and that is the coming together of not only 2 cultures but 3 as a reflection on my own situation. I am Norwegian, living in Australia with an Indian husband and with very close ties to India, so these works are all reflections on my own journey. It might seem a little bit self-obsessive perhaps, but it's a more reflection on my own journey, and I feel that I'm in a very lucky position as such a multicultural being to be able to address immigration and belonging to more countries than one, which is a situation that's becoming more and more common all over the world. So I feel that I need to speak for everybody in that regard. So the series that we see here today are a selection of the 2021 first of a series of 100, which is so-called constructions, and they are all inspired by social construct and cultural construct, and also cultural identity and personal identity. So that's all the things that I explore using color, using elements of composition to obtain a balance in my work. I'm very particular about having a very well balanced composition, and that's because that's the state we all want to be in. We want to be balanced, we want to be centered, we want to be all these things. So that's what I'm trying to showcase in my work. I can't think of anything more to say. But again, thank you to everybody for coming here today. It's a pleasure, and I hope that everybody will have an opportunity to please come and talk to me about if you want to know something. As soon as I'm able to stand in front of my own artwork and talk a little bit more in depth, I'm happy to do it.
Sure. So Australia Fest, as you mentioned, it's a 6-month-long program which started about 5 weeks ago, and it's been run out of by the Australian government across India in 20 different cities. And tonight is one of the highlights of the whole program. We're delighted to be able to host the launch of the opening of the exhibition of Lene Makwana's work here, Constructions, which forms part of the series of events which we've got for Australia Fest, celebrating Australian creativity and culture across India.
Can you tell us about your experience today's event?
My experience? Well, right now I'm quite overwhelmed. So I feel very lucky to be participating in Australia Fest as part of Australia Fest, as a visual artist from Western Australia in particular, presenting contemporary arts to the Indian audience at such a prestigious gallery as Jahangir Art Gallery. It's a true honor.
What kind of response are you getting from the people that you met here? What kind of response are you getting here?
Extremely positive, extremely positive. We're thrilled with the gallery tonight and the show they've put on. We've had very good numbers through. And I think that the audience here really responds to the themes that Lene's exploring here about culture and identity and mixed nationality, and how that all bleeds together into a search for beauty. And I think that the works that she's got on here speak that universal message that would resonate in lots of different crowds. So,
can you tell us about regarding your projects that you're doing all over the India? Can you explain that detail?
Sure. So, as I said, Australia Fest was launched in the month of September and will run through until March. It includes a wide range of different visiting Australian creative performers, including the Australian World Orchestra and the Bangara Indigenous Dance Troupe were both here in Mumbai recently. We've got many Australian films at the International Kids Film Festival, which is being launched tomorrow. Several Australian authors are attending the Tata Lit Live Festival later this week. Looking ahead, we have a few shows at the NCPA. So as you can see, I think there's over 70 events over the next few months, so too many to name now.
What kind of response are you getting from the Indian government?
Well, in a way, Australia Fest is a response to the Indian government, because in 2016, India ran a similar program in Australia called Confluence, which brought out, I think, 100 different Indian performing acts, which had shows in Sydney and Melbourne and across the country. So I think that is reflective of the growing people-to-people links between our countries, and the Confluence Festival in Australia was such a success that we realised we had to do the same here and reciprocate.
This painting also helped to improve the relationship between India and Australia also, bilateral relationship. How you see these relationships? Do you think it will improve more relationship both the countries?
Well, I think it's inevitable. As I said before, I think the relationship has never been stronger than it is now for all sorts of reasons. And the thing that is driving that is the people-to-people links, which we are celebrating through Australia Fest. The Indian diaspora in Australia is growing very rapidly. Already, I think 1 in 50 Australians was born in India, And a huge part of that diaspora has come up over the last 10 years. So if you look ahead 5-10 years into the future, I think the Indian culture and society will be really shaping the Australian community as well. So I think it's only going to get stronger.
Thank you so much and best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
मुंबई रफ्तार न्यूज़ की खबरें पसंद आने पर हमारे YouTube चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें और लाइक करें।